quick update on BTC and how to not get caught off sides if you trade in futures. So the main thing you want to be looking for if you trade in futures, BTC, Ethereum, you want to also be making sure you always, before you take the trade, building some kind of confluence with the USDT dominance chart. So obviously this is inversely correlated with BTC. If this is going up, BTC is going down. Um, if this is going down, BTC is going up. So right here, just the other day, Thursday, the 18th, we saw 4.20 was obviously a level of support, right? We tapped here, came up to this resistance. We came back, tapped here. We came back one more time and tapped here again. And this on a 4 hour. So you can see the RSI. We had a bullish divergence on the RSI, meaning price came back to the same level, but we can see the RSI is what? Increasing, right? So we had a bullish divergence on the RSI. Obviously, this was a strong level right here. This one, the 18th. We go back and look at BTC and we see some form of distribution, right? So we see a high. We came into resistance at 117,000 psychological level. We came in here. Last time we were here, we obviously dumped what? 8.3%. We came back here. We took out this high, right? We made another high. We took out that, and we could obviously see we had a bearish divergence on BTC as well. Bearish divergence meaning what? As we made a higher high, we saw a lower high on what? The RSI. Right? So what is this telling us? This telling us as price is going up and made another high, RSI is what? Getting weaker, getting weaker, and getting weaker. All the RSI is telling me is the momentum, right? It's telling you they have less momentum. Also, we see another bearish divergence where? On volume. Look at the volume here versus look at the volume at this high. Why is that important? Volume is decreasing. Volume is decreasing as we what? Coming into supply and also what? Making higher highs. So we had two clean bearish divergences. This is a nice clean setup. I didn't take the trade, but I'm looking at it right now and it was clean. So whenever you're taking trades like this, you want to make sure you build a confluence, not only with the RSI as well as volume, but you also want to make sure and come to the USDT dominance chart and see what the levels look like here. And if you see bullish divergences like we did here, we had a strong level here, 4.20, came here once, came tapped again, came back and tapped again. So this was the third time with what? Bullish divergence. This was a high probability setup. Obviously, we saw a nice rejection from this level, and BTC corrected like it should have. And I mean, now it looked like we might just be putting in a higher low somewhere here, right? Maybe we're just putting in a higher low from here, from 111,000 to what? Continue up. So this is a clean setup. Even look at this setup right here. This was another one at 123,000. Look at these psychological levels. You see these numbers are what? Round, whole numbers. Those are always key levels to be looking for longs or looking for shorts. But we saw the same thing. We came back into supply, right? With the what? Another divergence. So here, we made a high, right? Then what? We made a higher high. And look at the RSI, another bearish divergence on the RSI. Lower high, higher high, lower high on the RSI. And BTC often likes to make another high. So sometimes, like if I would have taken this trade, sometimes you like to see BTC and it does something like this. It'll make a 1, it'll take out the high, it'll make 2, and then it'll take out the high one more time, and it'll be 3. And usually, when it doesn't move like this, you often see that each time it makes another high, it's usually less. So like this was like 1.64. The next high, if it would have made another one, it would have been less than 1.64. Why? Because it's running out of momentum as it's increasing in price. So maybe you saw the next high would have been at like 1.54. You know, a good place for a stop loss on this trade would have been 127,000. So obviously it's less than 1.64, and it's also what, at a psychological level. So that would have been a good trade. Just like this one, you saw this one. Like, look, 1, 2, 3, took out the high again. Or you come back to like here. Look at this one. Back in December. Look how clean this is. 1, 2, 3. See how I took out the high 3 times, or 2 times rather? 1, 2, 3. It makes this like triple top. 1, 2, 3. And each time on the RSI, we saw the same thing here. Bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. Look at price. Higher high, higher high. Look at price on the RSI rather. Lower high, right? So that's a bearish divergence. And then you want to also come back and, like if we go back to here, August 14th, we go look at USDT dominance, August 14th. August 14th. Where you at? Okay, look here, August 14th, right? So we had a same thing, bullish divergence on a daily time frame, stronger. So the higher you go up in time frames, the more reliable the setup is. So if you see a trade on a 1 hour, it won't be as reliable as when you see a trade on a daily time frame. So looking on this daily time frame, we saw a bullish divergence here, right? Price made a lower high, a lower low rather, but look at the RSI. RSI, higher low, boom. And then obviously you look at BTC, higher high, lower high, good trade. So yeah, that was just a quick update. Pay attention to RSI divergences, whether that is bullish or bearish, and as well as volume divergences, whether that's bullish or bearish volume divergences. And the key thing is you want to see that these things are coming into supply, making these divergences. When you see these setups, I believe they're about an 80% probability that you'll get the direction in which you anticipated to go in. Versus when you see a same setup but no divergences. Like say you saw this setup, but you didn't see a divergence in the RSI. Or say you saw this setup, but you didn't see a divergence in the volume as well as the RSI. These aren't as high probability setups. So you want to make sure you're seeing these setups, and then after you see these setups and identify them, you want to make sure you come into the USDT chart and confirm in a trade. So good luck and see you next time.